Yo, what's going on, YouTube? Welcome to my corner of the world. We are here for some more absolute Wonder Woman. We are checking out issue number 2, Wonder Woman Humbles a General. Yo, absolute Wonder Woman. She came in with a bang in the first issue. We got to see a little bit of her backstory, like the Amazons did something to piss off the gods, and like they all got either wiped out or imprisoned, and then as punishment for their treachery, an infant Diana was cast down to hell, where she was raised by, I don't remember the woman's name, but she was raised by a woman down there. And yeah, there was a lot, and she had to fight like back in like present in the present day. She was back on Earth, and she was fighting some type of monster, and that's kind of where we left off. So yeah, let's hop in and see what's going to be going down in this issue. Yeah, let's hop in. Link to the original video will be in the description if you want to check it out on your own. Let's run this up.
Diana, the last Amazon, the princess of hell, has come to the world of man to aid them against the harbingers of evil. But are they prepared for what's to come next? Welcome to the Comic Storian Complete Story Series, where we take trade paperbacks and single issues and we break them down into digestible bites to help you understand. Then we read them dramatically back. Check it out. The massive creature known as the Harbinger, from the depths of the
Harbinger,
ocean, steps
okay,
forward, but is met by Diana, who stalks up the Gateway City beach with her magic lasso whipping around her body. The Harbinger fires a blast of energy from its great eyes, which Diana dodges under. She lashes out with her lasso, striking the monster across the face. "That is but a taste, Harbinger Prime. Retreat now and save yourself," she orders.
Oh yeah, I remember this thing now. I said that it looked like a Demogorgon from Stranger Things.
Lizard-like creatures launch forward, swarming over Diana. "Retreat is doom, you fool," the Harbinger rumbles. Diana throws up a protective spell and knocks away the small creatures with her lasso. The Harbinger has left her no choice, and she whirls the weapon over her head and tosses it around the great beast's neck. "Hear me, Harbinger Prime. This is a weapon forged in the fires of hell, fashioned by the sorceress Circe and made from the remains of the last basilisk.
The woman's name.
It
Okay.
binds and burns in proportion to your sins," Diana tells the monster.
So okay, that's an interesting change. So like usually you have the lasso being the lasso of truth. It compels you to be, well, honest, like that, thus its name. But this time she hasn't like specifically said the name of the lasso, but this lasso, like, it essentially inflicts pain on you, like by the weight of your sins. So it's kind of like a penance stare in a way. It's kind of like a lasso version of the penance stare. That's cool.
"Circe, and made from the remains of the last basilisk. It binds and burns in proportion to your sins."
Oh, that
Diana
is so cool.
Harbinger
It's like
Prime
a physical
roars
manifestation
with
of the
pain
penance
as its
stare.
skin begins to sizzle. "Release me, Amazon! Release me!" The Harbinger Prime yells, his screams of pain shaking the buildings around them. Diana nods her head. "You shall have your freedom on one condition only, Harbinger Prime," she tells the monster, ordering the creature to return to the depths from whence it came and tell its master that the earth is now under the protection of Diana of the Wild Isle, princess of hell and the last Amazon. The Harbinger stares at her for a moment before finally dipping its head in submission. "We accept," it rumbles. Diana nods and releases the creature, allowing it to return to the ocean. Its
Smart creature.
following close behind.
I was half expecting
Diana
it
lowers
to
to
just
the
be like,
ground,
yeah,
watching
whatever,
as
and then
the
just like
ocean returns
double back to
its
try to
course.
attack her.
Behind her, the smoke of the battle billows. And as the smoke
Is
begins
this
to blow in
Steve?
the ocean breeze, a lone soldier steps through. Diana? He asks. The princess turns slowly and regards her lost friend. Steve, she says
Yeah.
gently. Before, on the shores of the Wild Isle, Diana was walking one day and discovered a man washed up on the shore. Rushing to his side, she leaned over his battered body.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but the Wild Isle, wasn't that a place that was in hell? If I'm not mistaken? I think I might be, or maybe I'm just not understanding it correctly, but like she was raised in hell by Cersei, and Cersei was in the Wild Isle, yes? So she found him on the shores of that. Does that mean that Steve went to hell? If so, how in the world did he get there? I- You know, maybe they're about to explain it.
Please tell them. I'm sorry. Steve gasps. His eyes flutter for a moment and close. Who are you? Where did you come from? Diana wonders quietly to herself. Lifting the man in her arms, she rushes back to their home. Cersei turns in shock as the door bursts open and Diana rushes inside, the man in her arms. Mother, bring the Cerberus fur. It's the warmest, Diana shouts as she lays Steve in her bed. She quickly tells her mother the story of finding the man on the beach, and even Cersei is shocked by the tale. Finally, she sighs and turns to their kitchen. I'll put the kettle on, she mutters. Later, Steve awakens to find Diana sitting with him. She offers him a warm cup of tea, explaining where she found him. So, where are we? Steve finally asks. Diana looks away sheepishly. Well, this is going to be hard. You're in the underworld, she tells him. Steve springs out of the bed in shock. Wait, hell? I'm dead? He shouts. The two women shrug. Not exactly, they say. Steve
It's a valid reaction on his
bed,
part.
his head in his hands, muttering to himself. I'll just give you a minute with that.
Yeah,
Diana
how
says
in the
softly.
world did he
Later,
get there?
Steve joins the two for dinner, apologizing to them for his outburst. Cersei introduces herself with a shake of his hand. Fortunately for you, you landed on the Wild Isle, which, thanks to Diana and myself, is the safest place to be. If you have to.
Because he's not dead.
She
Obviously,
explains.
like,
Steve
one of
nods.
the for sure
His
ways to
mind's
get there
still
is
reeling.
death.
But he turns
But
to
if he could
Diana
just like
and asks
open
her
a
to
portal
show
or
him
something to
where he
get
washed
there,
up on the
then that's
shore.
another way.
As the
But
two walk
he's
along
just a
the
human
beach,
with no powers.
Steve
How did he
explains
get
that
here?
He thought he had lived a good life, that he didn't believe that he would be going to hell when he died. Diana shrugs. Here's what I think. Not everyone here belongs here. It's just sometimes where we've ended up, she tells him. The two of them stare out on the ocean for a time until Steve finally turns back to her. Thank you for saving me. Twice, he tells her softly. Diana smiles. You're welcome. Gateway City, now. The two stand on the beach for a moment, regarding each other. But Diana rushes forward and hugs the man. Finally, she pulls away and smiles. I hoped I would see you, but I never dreamt it would be today, she tells him. Steve smiles back. What are you doing here? He asks. Diana shrugs as Pegasus lands nearby. Saving the
That
day, she
Pegasus
explains.
looks so
Steve nods,
eerie.
telling her that the military command wants to speak to her.
Nothing
Though
but
she might not like
skeleton
the
and
attitude.
wings
Diana
with
nods and
glowing
motions
red
for
eyes.
Steve
That
to
is a
keep away.
crazy
You
design.
do not need to warn me, Stephen. I am not entirely naive in the world of men. I had a teacher with a sharp tongue in these things, as you well know, she tells him. But minutes later, Diana is standing tall, while a rather short general yells at her about the destruction that she caused while supposedly helping stop the monster that attacked Gateway City. When the general had stopped to take a breath, Diana finally spoke. I understand your position, Commander. I am an outsider and an element you can't control, and that frustrates you. But this is not my problem, Diana says,
Yeah.
explaining that her real problem is the next monster that will arrive, and that more lives will be lost if they do nothing. But I will coordinate with you to the best of my ability. This world is not prepared for what is coming, and you will need my help.
Like, this is always the thing that gets me when they do like plots like this, where they have like obviously the superhero or superhero team like defeat some massive invasion or something like that, and there is collateral damage in the city or in the town or wherever they are. And like once it's all said and done, the heroes win, and you know, the military or the government or whoever, they go up to the hero and they're like, "You think this is a win? Look at all the damage that you just did. How could you do that? Why weren't you more careful?" And it's like, they're just like, you made it more, you made it worse. You know, like all the stuff that you just did here. And it's like, would you like for them to do nothing? Because it is only like this because they stepped in. It could have been so much worse. It could have been so much worse. And that's the thing. When you have beings who are like superhuman, can fly and like shoot energy blasts and do all of this crazy things, like, you're gonna have collateral damage. That's just the reality. You're gonna have collateral damage because these beings do not go down easily and they are ridiculously strong. So compared to us mere mortal men, mere mortal people, obviously things are going to get destroyed pretty easily. That's just the reality you have to accept. But then going to this hero, in this case Diana, I'm being like, you did all of this. It's like, no, she was trying to prevent it and did the best that she could. It's not her fault that it spilled out into that much collateral damage. She did the best that she could. You know? So like, it always just gets me. That's why I'm always on like Team Cap's side. You know, the whole Civil War, Team Cap versus Team Iron Man. I'm always on Team Cap's side. You know? Sure. Like, yes, it is bad that they do have this amount of damage done to the property of the city and things of that nature. Nobody is discounting that. And I'm sure there may have been some casualties, which is very sad. But the reality of the situation is these are superhuman beings with devastating power. Collateral damage is bound to happen. You can't blame the heroes for that,
she tells him. The general is shocked as Diana turns away from him and looks at the tactical maps of the city. How is the evacuation proceeding? She asks a nearby officer. The tone in her voice doesn't invite questions, and the officer immediately begins to give her answers. Slow, but we were going to stop the orders. You killed the monster, right? Or send it home? He asks. Diana shakes her head. I did, but that was just a harbinger, a messenger of things to come, she says, warning them that the next creature could arrive within the hour, and that they need to evacuate at least a mile away from the coastline. The general gives the order to continue the evac, but turns back to Diana and Steve and begins to shout again. Finally, Diana has had enough. She steps up and stands over the general, seeming more imposing than before, anger flashing in her
Oh,
eyes.
God.
I think we both know you need me quite badly given what just happened, but I don't need you at all. So perhaps rethink how you would like to approach this conversation, and we'll retry this when you've calmed down. Hopefully before more innocent lives have been lost.
And in that shot too, her
She
eyes
turns away
look
and
so
storms
dark.
towards the entrance to
Like,
the command
oh, that was a good shot.
I'll be outside, feeding my horse, she snaps over her shoulder. Steve follows her outside to find
Yeah,
her
where does the
magical
food
energies
go?
and skeletal
You're nothing but
Pegasus.
skeleton. How
Steve
can you
steps
eat?
forward and pets the undead steed, who nuzzles him with his bony muzzle. I'm sorry about what happened in there, Steve tells her. Diana nods her head. It's disappointing, but I expected it, she tells him. She informs Steve that other heroes will appear to fight what's coming, but Pegasus rears up and whines before she can explain more. A wave of magical energy washes over the city, and Diana turns to see the soldiers falling to the ground and clutching their heads. She moves forward, pushing through the psychic energy. She approaches the beach and stares in shock. Steve joins her, and they both stare up in horror at the great creature that has risen from the waters. Oh my god, Diana, what is it? He asks.
What?
Death personified.
Dude, what is this giant bug-looking
ordering
thing?
Steve and the others to completely evacuate the city. I'll buy you some time, but the Tetracide leaves nothing behind, she says as she moves forward into the water, the great monster rising up before her.
This panel is kind of cold, though. This panel is kind of cold. Her standing on business in front of it, walking into the fight against this giant creature. That's kind of tough.
And the story...
Right? Yeah. That was cool. That was a cool shot. And this was a very interesting issue. Like, I really get it. Wonder Woman humbles a general. I get it. Because it's like, what else could she possibly do? It's not her fault all of that damage happened. She did the best that she could to prevent that by defeating the monster. She got them all to go away, you know? Like, I think that's the best that you could really hope for in a situation like that. Because the damage could have been so much worse. But yeah, I'm not going to go down that rabbit hole again. This was a very cool issue. Like, it's just like non-stop action in this one. It kind of reminds me of Absolute Batman in that way, where it's just like non-stop action here. Because like, we go from the first issue where she's dealing with the monster, the red monster, I forget its name again, but the Demogorgon. She's fighting the Demogorgon in the first issue, and then here it's like the aftermath of that, and then now she's about to fight another monster. This is very cool. I'm very intrigued to see where this story goes, but that's gonna be it for me for right now. If you enjoyed my reaction to this, make sure to leave a like, comment, and subscribe. I really appreciate it, and I will catch you in the next video. See ya.